Shooting under night vision is awesome. Shooting subsonic 300 blackout suppressed with a good laser aiming module under night vision is sublime. This is the RovyVon GL5 Pro. And yes, RovyVon did send this out to me, just like they did with their GL4 Pro. This is a little bit more expensive design, but it does have some good things that you get to pay a little more. Now, when I say a little more, laser aiming modules can be very expensive, thousands of dollars. These guys come in less than 500 bucks, and they're nice and compact. They're perfect for a setup like this 300 blackout, where I can hit my white light right there, and I can hit the laser aiming module right there. We'll go over the controls and everything up close, but this thing is totally usable for the price, and it's a 4-in-1, so it's got a white light on it too. I mean, I didn't even need to run the mod light, but I'm not taking off my $500 mod light. Night vision is very expensive. I've had the Rix Tactical RNV31s here for about a year, and I try to shoot under night vision as much as I can because I gotta get my money's worth out of it. Thing is though, is that all of the accessories that you need for shooting under night vision are also very expensive. Laser aiming modules are a lot of money for what they are. And so if you want to set up multiple firearms with laser aiming modules, like at first I just used the Mark 18. And I've got the Rix RIP3C on here, fantastic lamb. But, you know, wanted to shoot my 300 blackout under night vision, my AR-9, my dream rifle build here. And so in order to do that, you either have to be very wealthy or you have to find options that are not so expensive. But then you're taking a gamble. Are they going to be usable really or not? You know, there's some Chinese clones that you can get that I've heard good things and bad things about. Well, RovyVon has been a player in the market for a long time. I remember when I first got these nods and I was looking at laser aiming modules, a lot of people talked about the RovyVon GL4 Pro as like the best budget laser aiming module. Well, now they have this, which is the GL5 Pro. I've used both of them and we're going to compare the two of them a little bit, but I mean, I went out last night and put a bunch of rounds through this thing, all subsonic. It was a great time. And this is totally usable at any distance that I would be shooting 300 blackout subs at. That's for sure. The Illuminator, good enough for sure. The laser, fantastic. And then it also, of course, has a visible laser as well as an onboard white light. Cool thing is too, so generally zeroing your IR laser means putting on your nods, going outside and zeroing it to your daytime optic. It's not difficult to do, but you know, you have to do it in the dark with nods on. Well, both the GL5 Pro and the GL4 Pro there, the lasers are slave to each other. And so I wanted to try that out this time. So first I zeroed it in the light without nods on. And you know, it's got a visible green laser. Zeroed that to the center point on my circle dot reticle on my daytime optic there. And then I did it at night and it was pretty dang close. So that is a real nice thing off the bat. You can zero it right to your optic without any trouble whatsoever and take it out at night and make hits at reasonable distances pretty dang easily. This video is sponsored by Venice AI. If you're not on the AI train yet, you are missing out. And you know what? I was one of those people missing out for a very long time. I'm always kind of a late adapter to these things, but AI is honestly amazing. The stuff that you can do with it is absolutely incredible. It's a very powerful tool for just about anything in your life. I keep finding more and more amazing things you can do with it. The thing is though, is that things like ChatGPT and stuff like that, they're actually stealing your information and they're selling it. The former director of the NSA is on the board of ChatGPT. That's not a good thing. You know, Google and stuff like that, you know, Facebook, whatever, they listen to you and they advertise to you based on what you say. Well, what else are these things doing with your information? They're selling it to third parties, including governments. You don't, especially if you're a 2A person, you don't really want the government listening in on your conversation. So that's where Venice AI comes in. They're a full AI platform, but they are private and permissionless, meaning that they don't sell any of your information to anybody else. It's totally private. You get all of the benefits of AI without those downsides. So you might as well try it out. Now, if you use my link, that's venice.ai/sawtooth-tactical, you can get 20% off on your Pro plan. The Pro plan is the way to go. There's just a ton more that you can do with it. You can use all the tools that AI has to offer. And I mean, by now, AI can do so much for your productivity, for your organization, your creativity. Just check it out. It's amazing what you can do. Again, 20% off with code SawtoothTactical at venice.ai/sawtooth-tactical. I'm going to show you guys the performance of the white light and the visible laser here in the studio with the lights off. And I'll show you what it looks like under nods, because I did that out at the range last night. Now, in order to do that, it's kind of difficult. I literally have to put the gun in a tripod, turn it on, and then hold the night vision with my camera attached to it and shoot the gun with one-handed while holding that. So it's not easy. That's why the shooting is slower for that part. But I had to show you guys what the Illuminator and the laser looked like, the infrared under nods, because it is pretty dang decent, especially for the price, especially for the size. Now, I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn the lights up in here, show you guys what the visible Illuminator, the white light, and the visible green laser look like. And then we're going to go up close and look at all the controls and how this thing is set up, because honestly, I'm really happy with this setup on this short little gun. That's one of the great things about this thing. If I pull down my Mark 18, if you held this thing, it feels very heavy for a short gun. With a suppressor and a full-size mod light and a big laser aiming module on the front on a big heavy quad rail. I mean, it's a heavy gun. And that's one of the problems with night vision. You start adding weight to the end. You want to shoot suppressed under nods, I promise, because you don't want all that muzzle flash. So there's some weight. You got to have a white light, although this has one with it. And you got to have a laser aiming module, at least if you want to do any shooting that's not just, passive under, with your daytime optic. So it's nice to have one that is small and lightweight. I don't feel like this really added much weight to the gun at all, which is really nice. That's kind of the whole point of this 300 Blackout Shorty, is something short and lightweight that's easy to move around with and use. And this doesn't change that one bit. So let's turn the lights off and see what this looks like. This is the 400 lumen white light that comes on it. Compare it to the mod light. Yes, the mod light is brighter, but it's also much bigger. And it's a mod light. It's to be expected. That is totally usable though if you wanted to put it on a small platform and not have a laser and a white light. Right here is the visible green laser, which honestly I probably would only ever use to zero the thing since they are slaved, but it is nice to have it. I mean, for a home defense gun, which is what my 300 Blackout is, I mean, having the visible laser on would be pretty nice and easy to not have to use my optic in a home defense situation. So really, it is a pretty usable thing. And then here is the white light and visible laser together. You can still see the laser very well with the white light. I would probably leave it on this setting for home defense, especially if I didn't have the mod light on it. It's nice because you could just, hit one button and get both. I do love that. Here we have the GL4 Pro and the GL5 Pro. We're going to briefly kind of compare and contrast here, although this video is mostly about the GL5 Pro here, but there are a few differences. Now, they both do, technically, I think they're designed to go on a pistol rail. And so you have these kind of like switches like you'd find on a Surefire or a Streamlight. you can toggle them like that for constant on, or you can just push in for momentary, which is how I was mainly using it. It's nice because I don't even need a remote switch here on this Shorty 300 blackout. I got my white light switch there and my laser switch right there. It's very easy to tell which is which in the dark, and I like that a lot. Now, both of them are compatible with the RovyVon remote switches. I really like this single button one that I've got on my 14.5. See, on the longer rifle, having this up front, it's nice to have a switch back behind it. And again, mod light, you know, and my laser switch, and it's easy to tell which is which is really cool. I like switches that don't take up a whole lot of rail space, which is nice about this. Now, like I said, these things were kind of designed, I believe, to go on handguns. And so it's kind of funny zeroing it. It's actually kind of really nice, almost by accident, I feel like. Your point of impact is opposite when the thing is flipped over, meaning that when you're zeroing it to your daytime optic, up actually moves your laser up, down moves it down. Same thing, right moves your laser right, left moves it left. Instead of point of impact, it actually moves your reticle, which is really nice to not have to think about that in reverse when you're zeroing it to your daytime optic. I enjoy that a lot. Now, they do have a little bit different just styles of bodies here. They're both made out of 7075 aluminum. The GL4 Pro has like a traditional round white light head there. And then you've got your lasers and all that right over here. Well, the GL5 Pro takes that theory and makes it a little bit more compact. You see you have your white light there, your lasers over here. And they both take CR123A batteries or rechargeable lithium-ion batteries, which is nice. Easy batteries to find. I like that they're both really compact. Now, you see on the GL4 Pro here, to switch your modes, you have to flip this thing out and turn it. Now, I found that I could do that in the dark pretty easily. But this one, there's just nothing to even flip out. You just feel it with your hand, turn it. There are better designs for changing modes out there, but they usually need a bigger module in order to have like a big dial, you know? So I think a lot of what they're doing here is keeping the thing nice and compact, which is nice. Again, same kind of idea here where it's basically upside down when mounted on a rifle rail, which really makes it easy to zero. You could stick a penny or a dime in there, and it actually comes with a washer even to do that if you don't have any change. And yeah, if you want your laser to go up, you actually turn it to the up, down, turn it to the down, which makes it really cool. And for my TISM, this worked out so good on this short 300 blackout, where I just moved my mod light button back like one rail slot, mounted this up, and it's just nice to be able to hit them both, you know, so close together like that. I really, really like that. And the performance under night vision is totally usable at 300 blackout distances. When I say that the Illuminator and the laser are totally usable at 300 blackout distances, what do I mean by that? Well, it's not going to be as powerful as like the RIP3C here, or especially not like the full power SMS HFXC. But you don't need all that power at the distances that you're shooting 300 black subs at, for sure. In fact, you don't really need it at most of the distances that you're shooting night vision at. I think a lot of people get lost in the weeds. I see a lot of laser videos on YouTube, and people are, you know, looking at the Illuminator and the laser at 400 yards. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's nice to be able to shoot 400 yards under nods. I usually don't shoot those kind of distances when I'm shooting night vision. Again, it's a cool thing to have, but I think that these are great for a short gun like this. A PDW style gun. Home defense gun. Not that I think that I'm going to throw my nods on if someone's, you know, breaking in my door at night, but then that's where maybe the visible laser comes in. And for something like this, especially if you don't want to run a white light too and just have a very minimal setup, you've got a white light and a vis laser, and you've got an illuminator and an IR laser. I think it would be perfect on like the MP5K. Unfortunately mine, I don't have a foregrip with a rail, but maybe that'll change at some point. It's perfect for 300 blackout. It would be great on a pistol, a handgun, which is what it's designed for. In fact, I almost took it out on my M&P there, but really what I wanted it on was this 300 blackout, because you can shoot a pistol under nods passively really easily. You bring the pistol up and all you see is the dot in your red dot. Put that on target and go. Pretty sweet. For a rifle, you're shooting at greater distances generally than a pistol. It's nice to have that illuminator and laser. Now the illuminator is interesting on this. It's not like a perfectly clean circle like you get on a lot of more expensive IR lasers and illuminators. It kind of has some artifacts in it, and there's not a clear defined edge of your illumination. It just kind of illuminates like a flashlight would, which is interesting. I'm not really sure why that is, but it makes it totally easy to use. You actually get more spill and more situational awareness because of the way that it illuminates. Instead of with most IR lasers, like you really only see the illumination within that circle. This one, you see it all around. Yeah, it's more intense toward the middle of it, but you see it everywhere, and it's not so intense that you can't make out your laser, which is really nice as well. Being able to put that laser on target and make hits is really sweet. I did not look through my day optic once while I was shooting this at night, and I waited until it was pitch black to shoot this thing, which of course isn't great for filming because I don't have a PBS 14 to film through, and so you can hardly see me through the camera from my filmer, but at the same time, when I'm shooting under nods and I'm testing a laser aiming module, I want to do it in the dark. And so it's one of those things where it's like, do I do it while it's light enough for the camera to see me, but not really dark enough to be necessary to use night vision and an IR laser illuminator? Or do I wait till it's dark enough to actually use the equipment the right way and find out if it's good enough? What I do think is this. This is not going to give you the same performance as a Wilcox Raid or a B.E. Myers Mall. It's just not. But it's also not going to cost $4,000. What it is something that is really light, really compact, and totally usable. It's perfect for a shotgun setup like this 300 blackout, and I'm very happy that I have it. I want to thank RovyVon for sending this out. They sent out the GL4 Pro. They sent out the GL8 Pro, which is a rail-mounted light with IR as well. If you're going to use that one under nods, you would need still some kind of laser. And then they just sent me this GL5 Pro, and it's been really cool to be able to set up so many of my guns for night vision use without having to spend a ton of money or add a ton of unnecessary bulk and weight to the end of the gun. Now, when I say a ton of money, what am I talking about? Well, the GL4 Pro is $329.95. That is ridiculously cheap for a laser aiming module that works as well as it does. The GL5 Pro, $469.95. So it is more expensive, but it is better. That's kind of the thing. You do get what you pay for. But it's still a lot less expensive than most of the options on the market. And I think, honestly, well worth that price. Considering I've been into night vision for about a year now, and I've tried out a lot of stuff, and I've done a lot of shooting under nods, to be able to get something this usable for that price, and also something that, you know, I could set up on a short gun like this, doesn't take up a ton of rail space. I don't have to, you know, move my white light switch somewhere that doesn't work for me. You know, I mean, this thing, it just fits in there really nice. The other difference is this. So this one is not QD, the GL4 Pro. It's just got like a regular, you know, twist knob to tighten it onto your rail. This one, I know it's hard to see in there, has a QD lever. Now at first I thought that was going to be a problem to fit it where I wanted and keep my light where I wanted, but it wasn't. I removed the light, I mounted this, and the light went right back on exactly where it was. I think it might touch, but it doesn't cause a problem. And so you could use this on multiple guns if you want because it QDs right off. Or if you don't want to have any weight or anything on your gun except for when you go shoot under night vision, take it on and off. It's the easiest thing in the world to zero because you zero it to your day optic. So it literally takes 2 minutes down your hall with the visible laser. And you could use it on multiple guns. Again, saving you money. That QD lever right there can save you a lot of money if you don't want to set up a bunch of guns with different laser aiming modules. Get one here for $469.95 and use it on your 300 blackout, on your, MP5, your AR9, your handguns, which is what it's designed for. You can put it on anything you want, very quickly zero it, and really be good to go for anything that you own that you want to shoot under night vision. And I think that that's pretty sweet. Now I know that a lot of people have used the RovyVon GL4. I think the GL5 is kind of newer. I only started hearing about it kind of recently, and I'm pretty dang happy with it for what it is, for its size and for its price. You have to understand that. It's not a full power unit by any means, but it is powerful enough to be totally usable under nods, way easier than shooting passively through your optic, which is pretty sweet. So because I know that a lot of people have used these, and there are a lot of other budget lambs that have hit the market in the last year, let me know what your experience has been. Have you used the RovyVon GL4 Pro? Do you have the GL5 Pro? What do you think about them compared to other IR lasers, illuminators that you've tried? Because, like I said, it's not the most powerful thing in the world, but it is good enough for sure, especially for the size, especially for the price. And I'm pretty dang happy with it. I think it's perfect for this 300 blackout. I know I've said that like 10 times throughout this video, but it is. And shooting 300 blackout subs, suppressed, under night vision, with a lamb, is frickin' fun. And that's the thing, man. You're gonna spend all this money on your nods, on your lasers, on your firearms. You better enjoy it when you go out and shoot. And this definitely is really enjoyable. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Make sure you subscribe to Sawtooth Tactical. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.